I hope I do not get sued for this. Just give me a minute. Welcome back, guys. I found an old book of mine.
Why are you talking like that?
It's got my old book in it. I don't know why I was talking like that.
That's kind of creepy.
So, I forgot about my old designs. I had a dream on this truck once. It was awesome.
Yeah, speedrun it. You have like 5 minutes.
Yeah, so we got a very confusing picture of the warehouse, my book. I don't know. The basement, and then you got the restricted, no, that is the restricted section.
Basement.
I built this in Minecraft, but otherwise.
Is that what you're building in Minecraft?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
The warehouse, book 1, the beginning. I don't know why I call it a book. It's literally just a few pages.
Could have made a 5 Nights at Freddy's world.
Oh,
Put it there.
What's this?
Okay. I was laying down in my
my
bed,
friend.
writing in my journal, listening to the radio, when an ad came on about personnel needed for some janky old warehouse that is new and rebranded from an old mall. I was in need of a job because of getting started, and also, if I'm going too fast, just slow the video down. My computer just shut off, so I only got 6 minutes starting life, and I needed a car so I could drive myself to school and just do other things, like go out with my friends or something.
How long
Like
is
fi-
this story?
Wait,
Very
who's
long.
Max?
Like-
Your brother?
No, what?
Like
Who
5
the
minutes.
hell is Max?
My adopted daughter.
Like 5 minutes went by with me thinking about what my parents would say. Eventually, I walked downstairs and asked my mom and dad, and to my surprise, they said yes. I asked my dad to drop me off for my interview as security. On the way to the warehouse, I texted a few of my friends to meet me there, and 7 of them responded back with okay or a thumbs up. Later, I arrived at...
Look.
No.
Y'all are getting annoying. Later, I arrived at the warehouse with a lot of excitement. I got out of the Kia Sorento. Yeah, I know, basic SUV. But it works for a family of 5. But back to the point. I got out of the SUV and watched my dad leave. I sat there for a few seconds. After that, I walked inside of the warehouse to find my friends, in which I texted, sitting in chairs waiting for me. I asked how long they had been there. The longest one there was Sean Spofford, who was there for 5 minutes. After a few minutes, me and my friends found a map. It took a while, but we found the owner inside of his office. He asked me if we were the new security team. Being us, we said yes. Later, we were walking down the hallway, after our applications, of course. It took several hours for all 7 of us. The owner showed us to each of our offices. I went through 17 different rooms, 11 on the main floor and 6 on the bottom. And the amount of rooms and hallways are painful to keep track of. Just to get to my office. The owner gave us a tour of the entire building. My personal favorite room was the bowling alley with the diner in the corner. I mean, I did grow up bowling, so it made sense why I liked it so much. The owner walked away and left us to it with one task at hand. Stay in your offices unless absolutely necessary. Were his exact... Wait, no. 2 tasks. And keep the place nice and tidy. Those were his exact words. An hour went by and I realized it was a camera system, so I decided to check them out. I turned on the 30-year-old computer and I hated to see that the footage was in black and white. I sat in my chair, practically dying of boredom, when Teresa Peruse, one of the 7 kids who I texted, came across the storage room and gave me a walkie-talkie and said that she found them in the drawer in her office. I took the walkie-talkie and clicked it on. The boys upstairs were already talking on them about video games and girls, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. I changed to a different channel to hear some kids talking, so I kept on changing the channel to find... Oh, wait, the kids. Kids, keep those kids in mind. Those kids are important. I kept on changing the channel to find the channel that the girls were on. I told them what channel the boys were on. The boys, the girls, and I all linked to the same channel on the walkie-talkie. The rest of the night was quiet, until around 3 o'clock in the morning, when the boys decided to go and explore and found a window smashed in. We all met at the main office in the middle of the warehouse and looked at the footage to find it super fuzzy when it happened, which was really weird. Then we continued to look at the footage to see an unknown entity climb through the window. The entity looked to have an enormous grin with pale skin and bloodshot eyes, but I was going off of blurry camera footage. I did not know what this thing was, but it had pretty skinny arms and legs with big hands. Okay, I don't know.
751.
Okay. Otherwise, we could not see it because the footage was blurry. We all went back to our offices with high caution. Teresa and I walked downstairs with Sean as an escort. My other friend, Harvey Sargent, secretly following close behind. We got back to our offices, and Harvey came out of hiding and scared me and Teresa half out of our lifespan. He told me that he was scared and asked if he could stay with me the rest of the night. I radioed Teresa to come back over so I could use the bathroom. I walked upstairs, and Cedric Allen and Miles Pouland came running down the hall. Also, they are canceled. They are done. They quit. Miles started rambling about seeing the entity in the vents, but Cedric said that he didn't see anything. After the commotion, I entered the bathroom, hearing a faint banging sound echoing through the vents. I entered a stall and sat on the toilet. Then, the bathroom door slowly creaked open. The footsteps of the creature slowly crept towards my stall, and I closed my eyes and stayed extremely quiet. The footsteps crept closer, so I pulled out my flashlight and slid it across the floor. The creature flew by me as fast as a fighter jet. I don't know why I did that.
I thought you say it like that.
Yeah, exactly. I stayed as quiet as I could. After the lights flickered and shut off for a brief moment, they then turned back on. Sean opened the door and asked if I was okay. I pulled him in the stall, not knowing the entity was gone. I covered his mouth and signaled him to be quiet, but he pulled my hand off his mouth and asked with a puzzled tone, "What are you doing?" I told him everything. We both rushed back to my office. When we got to the office, we scared Harvey and Teresa half out of their wits. After calming them down, I told them everything that had happened. After the story, they just sat there stunned for a few minutes. After the dead silence, my two stunned friends became unstunned. Then they started rambling questions like, "What was it like for you?" Or, "Were you scared?" Or, "Did you fight it?" Or even, "What is life?" The last one I thought was hilarious. After the absurd questions, I noticed the time, and it was 5:55 in the morning. So we started heading for the entrance. I grabbed the walkie-talkie, I'm already on page 12 and I have 30 pages, and told the crew to start heading to the entrance. By the time everyone was there, I counted heads just to make sure everyone was accounted for. We all went our separate ways for now. When I got home, I ate and went to bed for a few hours. In my dream,
There's 1 minute.
I woke up on the floor of my office to see the entity watching something, and then I noticed it was deleting the footage from our night at the warehouse. I took a step and it lunged at me. I woke with a start and a cold sweat on my back. My mom was bringing in lunch. She put the plate of hot food down and asked me what's wrong. I told her about my dream and what had happened at my security job. She held a dark look in her face and asked me if I was serious. I said, "On my soul." I'm gonna wrap it up there. This is gonna be part one of it. This is gonna be part one. I'm gonna do part two tomorrow. But my previous footage, I was literally halfway into the book. Got deleted because I'm using a secret account, and some other people have access to it, and so if they don't like it, they're gonna delete it. But have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow.